Yeah.
It felt so fucking.
I know.
And I didn't realize, and this is why I'm saying I actually liked the second half because I didn't realize how invested I was until I realized how fucking good I felt watching fucking Light get shot, watch him freak the fuck out, watch him panic, watch him cry and do the maniac laugh. I was so fucking happy, dude. I was finally lost his motherfucking composure, and he looks like a bitch.
Yeah.
It's Otaku time!
Hey. What's going on, friends? Welcome back to Otaku Time, the show where we talk about anime, manga, and all things otaku. I'm your host, Dom, and we have our two normies, Strolly.
Hi.
And Marley.
What's going on, guys?
Caught you yawning there.
I was like, what?
I was so sorry. I'm trying
What's
to make
going
it
on?
back. Sorry, guys. I almost died.
Today, we are talking about Death Note.
Yeah.
It's got some spookiness, I guess, with the Shinigamis and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. The one night I was in bed and it was dark and I was just I feel uncomfortable right now. And I was like, nah, I'm good. But I was just imagining Ryuk's face just sitting in the corner of my room staring at me
Give that man an apple.
yeah, right? Yeet an apple, it just stops midair fuck!
Don't even have the Death Note. Yeah, I don't know. The design of the Shinigami were cool, but they were such bullshit characters. They made them so not serious immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
They're basically useless.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They're just there to fuck around.
Yeah.
They don't do anything.
Yeah.
They're like Overwatchers. They're not supposed to do anything.
Yeah. The Shinigamis were just they were just kind of there watching everything and stuff. I liked how Ryuk's character kind of had a he had a character. He wasn't just
yeah, no, I'm not saying he was boring.
Oh,
or
no,
anything.
yeah. But I mean, Rem kind of didn't really have he just really he loved Misa, and
Rem was a dude. Are they all dudes?
yeah, Rem was a dude.
Do these Shinigami have?
Yes, they are gendered because Ryuk when Misa got control of Ryuk's Death Note, he said something, or I remember him saying, well, I'm a guy, so something.
I don't think they have any physical differences, but they are.
Trying to see that Shinigami dick.
Woo!
Death.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah. Come on, Mark.
I don't know, dude.
Why is that the first thing you fucking?
Because that's where he went with it. He's like, I don't think they have sexual organs, and I was like, dicks.
And not Shinigami tits or something.
Nobody wants to see that.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be interested about Shinigami dicks. Not gonna lie.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not alone, guys.
Okay.
Got him.
Yeah, but they definitely gender themselves, for sure.
Okay.
Or sexualize.
Gender.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Who do you identify as, Shinigami?
Yeah.
Oh, bitch.
Damn.
I'll write your name down now.
Yeah, but as a series of in the whole, I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
It's not surprising.
I really did like it. But that's a kind of show that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I like the cat and mouse. I like the detective versus criminal. I like that kind of stuff. Like when, the typical crime dramas, police dramas that you see on TV, when they have the multiple episodes with the one killer or whatever, and it's super tense and whatever. That's the shit that I like.
Oh, you know what? That might be it. So I was I thought it was kind of boring for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
There definitely was a cat and mouse. There wasn't any tension ever for me, really.
Mm.
And I think it's because you have both views there.
Yeah.
Light is the main character, and he's the one that's mouse, and L for most of the show was cat.
Mm-hmm.
So you have everything that both of them are doing there at all times. There's no mystery. There's nothing that's I don't know, because I'm only getting one point of view or the other.
Yeah. What you don't know is whose plan is going to work, or whose plan is going to work, who's going to succeed. That's what you don't know, and that's where the tension's built off of. And I like that. I'm cool with that. I like knowing. I liked knowing. Oh, this is what L's going to do. Oh, this is what Light's going to do. Who's going to win? That's what I liked.
I don't know. I did think a lot of it was boring. For that reason, like there wasn't. There was cat and mouse, sure, but there wasn't any mystery.
Yeah.
There wasn't any like intrigue or any real tension because there's nothing that I don't know.
Did you start liking it more when Light like gave up the Death Note and lost his memories and like was working with L at one point and trying to figure out?
Well, no, he was definitely working with L.
I was,
but I do know what you mean by the
trying to figure. Like, I will say, I got a little bit more invested at that time because I was like, "How is this motherfucker about to get away with this shit?" Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Like, man, I can't. I know he's gonna pull some shit out of his ass, and I know he's gonna go back to being fucking Light and doing all this other fuck shit. And I was just like, get me to the point because I hated Light. I think it's fair like to hate Light. Not in like a bad way, like, oh, he was a terribly written like I just didn't like him as a person. Like, you know, like he's definitely a character built up for me to dislike.
Yeah, you don't like the pretentious ones.
Yeah, no,
and the cocky.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
So like him as a character, like it made me suffer seeing him on screen, but not in a horrible way. Not in a rent a girlfriend way. That's like the closest I can say to me detesting somebody. Not detesting, that was strong, but that was like.
You're gonna pull your punches there? Like, oh, my verbiage is off.
I'm sorry, Rent a Girlfriend main character. No, but like, Light was definitely a character that I didn't like, but I didn't hate.
Yeah, you know? I think that's kind of the vibe that you're supposed to have. Like, you're supposed to be conflicted on
like,
how you're supposed to feel about him.
Like, yeah, I was never conflicted, but I was constantly rooting against him, so it sucked seeing him win so often. Fair. Okay. I wanted him to fail and get humbled so fucking bad. Yeah. Like I hated how he was so fucking full of himself, dude.
Yeah. I definitely was conflicted because I was like, all right, I get why Light's doing what he's doing, but he's definitely doing it in the wrong way. But do I think it's justified, or do I think it's still wrong? And I liked kind of going through that mental battle in myself throughout the whole series.
For me, it was like, it was never about justice. It was never about punishing the bad people. He felt like he was better than everyone, and he proved it.
So he thought
that's why he was so obsessed with winning, and that's why he was so broken when he lost. It was never about right or wrong or justice or punishing the evil people in the world.
Yeah.
He felt he was too good.
Yeah.
And he deserved the right to choose. To choose. He deserved to be God.
He had the idea that killing the bad people justified what he was doing, but the reason why he was doing what he was doing was because he could and because he was better. Or because he thought he was better.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So more on, again, face value, sure, he's punishing the wicked and he's killing all these bad people or whatever. Yeah. Sure.
But that's
that's just a cover up for his own selfish, shitty motivation. And that's like, for me, it was easy to see through. I never was conflicted about his motivation from the start. That's what I knew what he was about, and that's why I didn't like him as a person.
Do you think that he started off that way, or do you think that he started off with the good intentions of just getting rid of the good people, and then once he started being pursued by L and like having like that, the
Kira,
being personified as Kira, and having everyone trying to get him, then that kind of changed his ego and his motivations as a whole.
So I think there might have been, and I think it was like expressed early on that there was like a window of time where he was like trying to do the right thing, and that's when he regretted, not necessarily regretted, but the impact of killing people hit him. Like he was like fucking gagging and like crying or whatever. He had his hand over his mouth. He's like, oh shit, I did that. But he got over that so fucking quickly. And was just going off into Death Note.
Yeah.
That like I think that window shut very soon and very early because of who he genuinely is. Of course there's a shock, like just as a human being, like, oh shit, I just took somebody's life.
Yeah.
But the way that he was able to just get the fuck over it, not give the note, like not really take into account that you just took a life, and continue on his noble mission that like, oh, this is just who you are. Like just in general, like you were this person from the beginning. You were just going through those natural human emotions.
So I do think he was doing the right thing. Like he thought he was doing the right thing by killing the evil and getting rid of the bad guys because they're gonna hurt people. Up until he killed Pember.
Ray Pember.
Pember, yeah. Until he killed all the FBI agents. At that point, it was no longer about the justification of killing evil people to make the world safe. It was about his own survival. up until then, I could give him the justification that he was genuinely trying to get rid of evil. But yeah, that's where I stand on that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was much more early on that he was like, because like, okay, so like story wise, logically, it was going to take a while for him to get to that point when people find out and try to catch him.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just like because of his intelligence and his own arrogance,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he was that person from the start.
Yeah, I think the person was there. I don't think that was the person driving, though. You know what I mean? I think it was like a driver-passenger thing. And then once when he killed the all the FBI agents, the good side, if you will, stopped driving. And the passenger, which was pure evil and pure self-righteousness, pretentious, all that stuff, started driving. That's what I think, in my perspective. Because it wasn't until that point, it wasn't until I think that was the first time when he like killed an innocent person intentionally for his gain, where anything else was kind of more or less just criminals and testing and this kind of and this and that and all that stuff. That was when he was like, okay, this is no longer about good versus evil. This is just about his self-righteous survival.
Yeah. Also, one of the things too, I was thinking like how and the part of him being evil from the being a shitty person from the very jump is that how does he determine what crimes are good enough to be killed for?
Yeah, I mean that's perspective based 100%. Yeah,
you know, like I get, and I'm not justifying the motorcycle gang that was like about to molest this woman in the very beginning and sexually assault her.
Yeah,
but he killed the shit out of this man.
Yeah,
you know.
He killed the shit out of a lot of people.
Yeah, but like that was early.
Yeah,
that was the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think that was the first time when he killed somebody, like as like a test for like an accident. Like the first, I think that was the second person he killed, right?
Yeah, because I think he like proved the death note was working.
Yeah, he proved that he could control people or control their deaths.
It was also after that like motorcycle dude death that he had that like breakdown for a minute, and then it really hit him like, oh shit.
Yeah, because he watched it happen in front of him.
Exactly, it wasn't something that was far away. This person died directly in front of him, and then he got over that shit like really quick.
Well, that was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
If it so the reason why I feel the way that I feel, because if you take that and you take it as okay, well, if his own intuition is that he's true and just for what he's doing, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, is besides the fact. But if he believes that he's true and just, then it's not gonna hurt that long, because yeah, it sucks and it's scary and probably, you know, nauseating or whatever, but you get over it quick because you're like, this was the right thing to do.
Yeah, I already chose that this was the right thing.
Exactly right.
I determined that this was the right thing to do.
So like going with my train of thought, where if he is good, well, that's why, or he was good, that's why he got over it so quickly. But also I can see your point where if he was evil, well then I mean, it's going to be super easy to get
his bar is going to be way lower than a fucking average person.
Exactly.
Because he already feels like he himself is better than everyone.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So his determination and his perspective is skewed towards himself. Yeah. As being his own bastion of righteousness and perfection, and like, I should be what everyone should strive for. I'm a god. Yep. Because that also started pretty early too. I want to say in like the first 8 episodes, like I'm gonna become god of a new world. Like I'm gonna create this new world, and everybody's gonna love me and all this other shit. And then I think it was also like he wanted everyone to know it was him at some point. Yeah. And that goes into his own arrogance, that what makes him a shitty person and an evil character. Yeah. You know. So just, I mean, let's see. Watching this show about a character I didn't like win constantly. And defeat characters that I would root for catching this motherfucker because I don't like him and I know what his motivations are. Was a little bit of a grind. It made it a little rough. Yeah. And then the fact that there was no mystery and no intrigue, because Elle was there, and Elle's investigation into him was like perfectly, like, it was on screen. Every twist and turn was spoken of. Yeah. There was so much that wasn't necessarily left up to the imagination. Everything was explained, because that's just like that fucking meme that I sent, where it was just kind of like, I see you outsmarted me and I've outsmarted your outsmarting. That was, every conversation was that. Yeah. You know? it got a little repetitive to that point because it was like, all right, you're scheming. Well, L's gonna out scheme you, or like, oh, L's scheming. Well, now Light's gonna out scheme him, and it's just kind of like I can expect that now. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it got a little bit more twisty than that,
Yeah.
but sure.
A little bit, but you could feel it's gonna be the same thing. Because the twisty, it was like, oh, you're scheming for my scheming. Well, I'm gonna scheme for your scheming because you're scheming for my scheming. It was like, oh no, well wait, I already schemed for your scheming of me scheming for your scheming. Like that's the twist that it would take.
Yeah.
And that was like,
That was entertaining.
it's the same thing times 2.
So much scheming.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
that, and to the cat and mouse, like I think of like The Promised Neverland, the first season. It's the first season, guys. Where it was
Only the first
there was a, you can feel this huge outside force, and there was a lot that you didn't know, and it was just these kids trying to get out. They don't know everything. You're not given everything.
Yeah.
But you know there's these kids trying to escape, and there's somebody trying to stop them.
Yeah.
Somebody trying to figure out who it is. And that's intrigue. There's tension. There's mystery. There's things for me to think about and take part in.
Yeah. So for that comparison, I will say that like Promised Neverland definitely I felt like had a stronger antagonist than Death Note. Like, and by stronger I mean like it was the whole farm system and the mother. Like that was so much. They had so much more power over the children that it was like you could feel that tension because that power struggle. There's such a big gap between them.
Mm-hmm.
Where at least with Death Note, they're kind of on the same level, and you're seeing them be on the same level at the same time, doing the same things. But you just you don't know how you don't know how they're gonna meet. You don't know how. You know they're gonna meet, but you don't know how. That was a mystery for me. Like I liked seeing, okay, how is it gonna play out? Like I see how it's gonna play out. Like I'm told all the information about the events that are gonna happen, but how is it gonna work? How is that gonna over scheme his scheme, and how is all of this scheming gonna work out at the end?
Yeah,
that's what drove it for me. That was the cat and mouse that I liked. Because, like, yeah, I completely understand. Like, there was no mystery. You didn't know, other than, like, literally the last scene. That was the only mystery. Because I was like, how the fuck did he do that?
Yeah. I think it, for me, also was how I felt about Light from the jump.
Well, yeah.
Because I settled on him being the antagonist and a shitty person from, like, episode 2.
You definitely...
So, like, I didn't struggle with thinking like, oh, maybe he's actually a good guy and he's trying to do the right thing. I settled early that like no.
Yeah.
he's just incredibly arrogant and wants to play God.
Yeah. When you form when like you personally, when you form an opinion against a character, you hold that character to that standard the entire time. You don't like to waver, and I'm not saying that's bad or anything like that, but that's what I've noticed. Yeah. Where like you're like, fuck light ain't shit, and then you're like, I could care less about anything else that happens because of it.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like I totally.
You're not
like,
wrong.
Yeah.
That's honestly how it is, and like I settled on that so early that I feel like there could have like if I had flip flopped, or if I had been like, maybe I should see this from Elle's perspective. Up to like episode 10 or 11, I wouldn't have thought it was like boring.
Exactly,
but
right.
Because I already settled on, this is the antagonist. This is the more or less the protagonist. This is who I'm rooting for. This is who I'm rooting against. And I settled on that so fast that I didn't really take part in that cat and mouse. I'm just like, yo, get this guy, fuck this guy because I don't like this guy.
You weren't able to actually enjoy the little stuff because you were so over the overarching theme.
Yeah, I was over any justification of Light being a decent person and maybe he's doing the right thing by doing the Death Note. Like I was so over that so soon. Which is which is again like I'm not saying to say the series is bad. I did enjoy it. By the end of it, Jesus Christ, that last episode was like made for me. But like I because of the way that I felt about how strongly I felt about Light, I did think, like I said, it was a little boring for me. Yeah,
it tainted the pool.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right or wrong, and I'm sure there's other people that feel the same, and there's people that are like, no, Light was actually trying to do the right thing. He just got caught up. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Wrong people.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, W.
Kidding, I love you, boo. But like, I will say, like, there was a definite. It felt like there was a switch around like that episode 18-19 when the intro changed.
When Elle died.
Pretty much when Elle died, and it did a little bit of a time skip.
Yep.
I felt it got a little different. Because one of the things that I didn't like about it was because so much of it was just talking.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like in that second half, they started doing more things.
Yep, it was a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah, it felt more dramatic.
Yeah.
It did feel a little bit more dramatic. It
Yeah.
was less about like I'm scheming and I'm scheming for your scheming. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, well, I'm scheming and then now there's an explosion.
Yeah. Like the first half, call it half, was okay, well, what's Elle's name?
Yeah.
The second half was like, what did Elle do?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like having Nier, and then how Nier and Mello were fighting against each other.
Yeah, you
and
introduce
Nier
these completely different characters, these different players, and
Yep.
now seeing how fucking unstoppable Light was with that like 4-month plan, it's just kind of like, no, these guys have to get him.
Now, I will say, like that whole plan that he did with Rem and Ryuk and Misa and him and
That was some wild shit, dude.
disowning the notebook, bro, that was fucking intense. Like the whole time, I genuinely thought Light was faking it. Like I was like, because
Yeah.
I'm not that deep.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even gonna try and argue that. But like I'm sitting there, I'm like, maybe he is kind of faking it. Like that's kind of cool. And then like everything came together, and I was like, yo, that's so tight.
That's when I got more interested in it,
Right,
because it was
yeah.
like, oh, this is kind of different.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is like some next level scheming shit. Like,
Like-
this is a bold gamble.
When he killed the owner of the Death Note right next to L with his little like paper thing that he like just remembered how to use and
Yeah.
shit, and he planned from all those years ago that he would be wearing that same exact watch. Like, dude, that how
I know
deep
me. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, dude? I don't know me that well.
Right, exactly. How deep that went on the
Yeah.
scheme was just so impressive.
That
Like,
was
I
what-
was like, I fuck with that.
At that point, I think it was less about like, oh, I fucking hate Light and want him to lose, when I was just kind of accepting what was given
Yeah.
to me. Like I was just like, all right, man, we're fucking here. Light's a goddamn genius. All right,
Right,
Like,
exactly, yeah,
There's
like-
nothing I can do watching it that'll like change anything. Like
Yeah.
at that point, I purely became a viewer. I like almost disinvested a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And was just kind of like, we're fucking here now.
Like
dude.
just impressed at that point. Like
Yeah,
you can't-
that's what it was.
You can't be anything but just
Exactly.
be like, damn.
And that's when I actually kind of started like, I can say I started really liking it, because it was like
Yeah.
that whole like, it was just like, fuck, now we're just along for the ride, dude.
Exactly.
Like it felt like we were just constantly up this like slow roller coaster of like
Yeah.
scheme,
Yeah.
and then it's like, fuck, we're at the top now.
Yeah.
What's left? Like what's
And
gonna
then-
happen?
And then he basically forced Rem to kill Watari and L
And herself,
and
himself.
himself. Just dude, like that was like I'm like that what, like 3 episodes I think at that point
Mhm.
it was like, just was so impressive. It was
Yeah.
just like there is so much depth to what happened here.
Yeah.
You know, so cool.
I also hated Misa. She was annoying as fuck.
Yeah. I was a little surprised because usually you're into the bubbly characters, but yeah, she was kind of a bitch.
She was a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't bubbly. She was fucking stupid and annoying. Hated her.
Most of the bubbly ones are stupid.
They're not annoying though. They're sweet angels.
Yui?
Yes.
Oh,
Tom.
yes. Big simp energy.
Yeah. I was like, how do you love this man so much? Ugh, he plays tennis.
Jesus.
No.
Yeah,
I didn't like her.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
At all. I was like, your obsession is annoying.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of would want to see like an alternate ending where Light wins, just because I want to see what that world becomes. Like, just out of curiosity. Not that it may be good or anything like that, just out of curiosity, because I'm like, Now, I was like, right before the last episode started, when Light went on that monologue, right before the end of episode 36, I was like in the bathroom taking a dump, and I was just like sitting there. I'm like, fuck, man, how is this gonna end? I'm like, I was like, wait, Light just went on a monologue. He's gonna lose. That's how it's gonna go. He's gonna lose. All right,
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna just get that in my brain, because I'm always like, oh, who's gonna win?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna get that in my head and just watch it, because Jesus Christ, my brain is hurting.
Mhm.
And then like it happened, and I was like, how the fuck did he do that? And then he finally explains it, and I was like, closure.
Yeah. The last episode felt so fucking good.
Yeah.
It felt so fucking.
I know.
And I didn't realize, and this is why I'm saying like I actually liked the second half because I didn't realize how invested I was until I realized how fucking good I felt watching fucking Light get shot, watch him freak the fuck out, watch him panic, watch him like cry and do the maniac laugh. Like I was so fucking happy, dude. I was like finally lost his motherfucking composure, and he looks like a bitch.
Yeah.
So this is all I've been waiting for.
Yeah, dude, 36 fucking episodes, and now we're finally here.
So I had the same exact feelings, but it was more or less because it was over. Like it was like I was like, oh my god, this is fucking over now. Like it was just there was so much time invested into watching all the episodes and all the different things that happened that like finding it actually come to a conclusion in like the last couple minutes was just so. It was like a big ass nut.
Like I can't say you're wrong. I was like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally. Woo.
Yeah, right. I need a smoke after that.
It felt so fucking good, and that's when like I just decided like, all right, we were here. This was a thing. I can see why it was as popular as it is.
Oh yeah.
Like I can see why people love it.
Mm.
I was just like, they built it in a way that it was like I managed to hate Light and enjoy his down. Like, and his downfall didn't happen until pretty much that last episode where he just lost.
Yeah,
because he was running like he didn't lose fucking like ever.
Yeah, the little battles that he would lose would just like set him back a little bit. It would never actually make him lose. But like the last like maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 episodes, it was like Nier was like, we got to kill Light or we got to get Light. I need to start doing it now. And then like you see everything kind of unfold, and then you see Light understanding what's going to happen and all the scheming and counter scheming and all that shit. And then just to see it fucking right in the notebook.
Gotcha, bitch.
I was like, this is going to happen. I was like, I know it's not going to work, but like, why doesn't it work? Yeah. Because you don't have Nier's plan in that. You know, you don't know what Nier's plan Nier is doing through context clues of what Light is doing. You know what I mean? You don't get Nier's plan like you would with L in the beginning. Yeah. Where like L would just be like, this is what I'm gonna do.
And that's probably why I actually enjoyed it, because
there's more mystery.
You didn't get too much of Nier's perspective. You would get him figure a thing out and just be like, all right, I'll hold on to this for later. And that was it. Yep. There wasn't an internal fucking monologue that took like 2 minutes and just him explaining literally everything and what this new thing means and how it's going to fit into his plan and how it affects this and that. He just got that bit of information. It was like, bet. Yeah. And then it would switch. And that's why like that explains, and I was thinking about it, that explains why I actually enjoyed that second half more, because it was more, it was a little bit, they gave you less information. Like they actually kept things like, what the fuck was Mello doing that whole time? Right, exactly. Who knows? He keeps popping up every now and again in like a fucking den somewhere, like just chilling. Yeah. And then he shows up and fucks shit up, and it's kind of like, oh, that was cool. I didn't expect that to happen. Yeah. I thought he was gonna be smart, and he just like straight up kidnapped this bitch. Yeah. And like, he was easily smart because he knew what he had to do. But they tied that in. But like that was cool. That was like unexpected. I was like, holy shit, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it was like the first part of the series was about L and Light's cat and mouse with each other. And it was just very like, this is what you're getting. This is very face value, very mundane, if you will. But then the second half was more or less where it was kind of like L's rise to like power, but also rise to insanity, and then like ultimate fall. What did I say? L? Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was L at that time. He took over the moniker. You and I both know I meant Light. I just like to tell you you're wrong. Thank you, sir. But yeah. Off camera. That's what like that, like Light's rise and fall. You know, it was very neat. I liked watching, because you focus more on Light in that second part, and you can really see how everything is just going to shit. Yeah, everyone starts to not trust him. No one, he's creating a small little circle, but then this, you know, all of the Japanese police force, whatever they were, we're not trusting Light, and they're like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Whoo-wee.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was dope though. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I was surprised by how invested I was. It was the last half was definitely hit for me.
For sure. Yeah.
Overall, it was good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Overall, it was good because I didn't realize how invested I got in that second half, and then talking it out now, it's kind of like, oh, that's why.
Yeah, yeah.
They more or less course corrected for what I didn't like in that first half.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
and the payoff was fantastic.
Yeah,
I do wish there was more about the Shinigami because they were interesting. But you're right. They were just fucking observed. They were just kind of there. Mm-hmm. They more or less had nothing to do with the actual story.
They were the creators of the Death Note, essentially.
And that's it. Yeah, that was it. They gave...
That was their only point in the whole thing, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did like Ryuk's fucking apple withdrawals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was cool as shit. Yeah. He just starts twisting up and shit.
Yeah.
Gets an apple slowly, like, untwists. Ryuk was, like, the best, like, secondary character because it was just... He was so, like, nonchalant about everything that it was just enjoyable when he was, like, talking or something. He would always say something like smart.
Ryuk, you gonna help me? Nope.
Exactly, yeah. He was just such a smart ass.
Exactly.
I loved it. Yeah.
Because he knew the whole time, like he could see when Light was gonna die, right?
Yeah, he has like the
because it's only the human owners of the Death Note that can't see the other human owners
unless they get the Shinigami eyes.
Yeah,
but then Misa couldn't see when Light was gonna die, right?
It's because he also used the Death Note. You can't see other Death Note users.
That's what I'm saying. So, but the Shinigami can still see.
Yeah, they can see everyone's.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just clarity.
Yeah.
So like I like the fact that Ryuk knew the entire fucking time. He's kind of like, well, see how this plays out.
Yeah, yeah, but he knew that he was gonna live.
Ryuk knew he was gonna live.
Ryuk knew that Light was gonna live,
but Light's dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Well. No. Because
the same time.
No. I know. Jesus. No. Because when Ryuk was sitting there before he wrote his name in the Death Note, he was like, you know, we don't know how much longer you're going to be able to last, blah, blah, blah. They're probably going to put you in prison and that kind of stuff. So he knew he wasn't going to die there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or did he?
Well, that's not what his internal monologue said. That's what I was saying.
Well, maybe he knew that he was going to die there. He was like, well, they could put you in prison and have you stay in prison forever. But you got about 3 minutes left, and it's because I'm going to write your name in this fucking book. Because I don't want to wait 90 years.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, he knew he wasn't going to die there. He was dying because Ryuk was like, I'm just going to save you the pain and suffering.
Or he knew he was going to die there because he knew he was going to kill him. He's
it's like a chicken and egg.
Yeah, that's exactly like, yeah, I could not write your name in this book, but I know that's not the case because you have about 3 minutes left to live, and it's because I'm not going to wait while you're in jail.
Right.
You know, maybe it was that kind of situation where it's like, you could not die here, but you're going to die here because I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Give me that lifespan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Give me your years.
Interesting.
Yeah. How do you feel about Death Note, Dom? Do you like it?
It's good.
Do you think more like Marley or more like me, or somewhere in the middle?
I think somewhere in the middle, because I didn't necessarily hate or dislike Light's character, at least in the beginning, but then he started being like an asshole and like killing innocent people and like the guy's wife, right? Pember'S wife, and then like, no, she's why?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're just doing this all for yourself and just trying to get away with everything.
I guess that would be the first like purely unforgivable thing that he was killing Ray Pember'S wife, because it's like, okay, you can see him killing Ray Pember because he was on him, you know.
Yeah. Well, the other FBI agents I think was a little excessive.
Yeah. But like that was like the first like you associated.
Right,
like,
exactly.
She just lost her husband, and she's super fucking smart. And then I was so ready for her to join the investigation, and then they never found her body. She just disappeared.
Yep.
And it was kind of like oh, you son of a bitch. Yep. You son of a bitch. Like that was like the first like really clear. I want to say that was like the first really clear, unforgivable. Like there's no left or right here. This is who he is.
Yeah.
And that was the expression of that. Because he killed Ray Pember. He probably could have outsmarted a way to get out of not having to kill her if he was really truthful about justice.
Pember wasn't even like thinking he was
Yeah, he was getting ready to close it up.
Yeah,
He was like, all right, it
exactly.
can't be this kid.
Yeah, that was the best part about it.
Yeah,
He literally killed him for no reason.
Yeah.
exactly.
That was literally the reason why he got caught.
Mhm.
Was because he killed him without a reason.
And I also thought that while there is a lot of talking and stuff, I thought like the schemes were interesting.
Mhm.
Like how like the little paper in the door and then like all the little things that they would do to try to one up each other. I thought like them going through all that stuff was interesting as well. So
And that's where I settled on him being an antagonist so early, where every time I saw things like that happen, I was less interested in how cool it could have been and more upset because I'm like, this motherfucker thinks of everything.
Yeah.
I was more invested in him losing than I was in
Actually
enamored by
enjoying it.
how
Yeah.
cool his genius was.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
At that
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
and also just thinking of like the mangakas themselves just having to come up with all these different scenarios and things of how each person is going to try to one up each other. Like
The what?
mangakas, the people that made the manga.
Fucking normie.
Dumbass bitch.
Got him.
Okay.
Because it's originally a manga.
Mm.
And so the people who were creating the manga had to come up with all these ideas in the first place.
Mm.
So just thinking of all the like brainstorming ideas and stuff they had to go through just to come up with
Yeah.
all these different things themselves.
Yeah. It's almost like
Yeah.
you have to solve the puzzle and then put all of the pieces together to make all of the shit that they did work the way that it did. Like, you know,
Mhm.
like you have to know how it ends and then be like, okay, let's start throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to throw
what's
in there.
the coolest way for him to be smart about this?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Which is objectively outside of my own opinion. That is a very good point. Like that is really cool
Yeah.
of them and like very interesting.
Somebody thought of all of those
Exactly.
things.
Yeah.
Like that's not real people. That was somebody who actually was like, we're going to put this in there. And they're like, oh, yes.
Yeah. Like positive, negative opinion, whatever. That shit alone is cool as fuck.
Somebody was that creative and
Yeah.
smart.
Exactly.
Our next show is going to be Hellsing Ultimate.
Yay!
Neat. I'm scared.
Good.
Ooh.
So, Hellsing Ultimate is about vampires, and they are all, well, pretty much all, are evil.
Mhm.
And then there's this organization called Hellsing that is going up and fighting against them. And then our main character, Alucard, is also a vampire, but works for Hellsing. So he kills other vampires.
Mm. Does this have any relation to Van Helsing?
No.
Okay.
Just name.
Okay. I was like, that's
Loosely-
the only thing I got to go off of
Loosely
right now.
with Helsing hunting things, and it's like the
Yeah,
Helsing
'cause-
organization.
Van Helsing was a vampire hunter, right? Or something?
Yeah. Very loose.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
What's it on?
Funimation,
Dope.
10 episodes.
Dope.
It's great.
Cool. Is it just like actiony or is it dramatic-y or is it like schemey like Death Note?
Mm.
More actiony.
Mhm.
Dope. Have you seen this before?
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry, Dom.
Are you gonna watch it again?
You better fucking believe it.
Is this a newer or an older anime?
I think it started in like the mid 2000s and ended in like 2012. Because like it released like an episode or two like once a year.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this isn't not totally knowledgeable. This isn't the only like Helsing story,
Yeah,
right?
no.
This is okay.
There's multiple Hellsing animes and movies and stuff.
Okay. That's what I remember because I have like Helsing like OVA DVDs at home, and then I know that this is 10 episodes. And I'm like, this is more than 10 episodes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sweet. I'm excited.
All right, friends, that's all we got for today. Let us know what you thought of Death Note, that's what it's called, and of the video itself.
Yes, please.
Don't flame me for my opinion, please.
Flame him for his opinion.
Oh,
Please.
I was trying to be nice. I liked it, guys. I'll say it.
And don't forget to subscribe for more otaku goodness.
Don't forget to share, please.
Mm-hmm. And comment,
Oh,
right?
my God.
You said subscribe. You said share. Like. That's the one.
You literally had one job.
I got it right. Eventually.
Poor kid.
I was trying, damn it.
I'm so sorry, Marley.
Me too, man.
All right, friends, sayonara.
Bye.
Smooshies.